What's up guys, it's Adrian here and welcome back to another video. A lot of people spend thousands of dollars on tutoring, college and MBA admissions consulting, travel to visit their target schools, and they put a lot of time and energy into the process of being admitted to their dream school. But does it really matter whether you attend a highly ranked college or business school or a smaller, rather unknown local college? It's always great to have a famous school on your resume, but an Ivy League school is not the right choice for every student. In fact, many students won't even thrive in such rigorous academic environments. Ivy League schools tend to have small campus sizes, oftentimes in the middle of nowhere, that may not be the best fit for some students. Some people just thrive in bigger and maybe more anonymous environments. However, when it comes to future earnings potential and career success, where you go to school matters greatly. First and foremost, it's all about branding and network. If you have a great school brand on your resume, a brand that everyone is aware of and knows how hard it is to get accepted, that can impact the likelihood of securing a job after graduation. Think of schools like Harvard and Yale. They rank in the top 10 in the US across numerous rankings like US News and the Financial Times, along with other top schools. Not only are graduates of these schools more likely to get a job, but attending a top-tier school can double and sometimes even triple your chances of working at a prestigious firm. Again, this is mainly due to the networking opportunities offered to students at world-renowned universities. Now, you could argue, what if you have very good grades from a rather unknown school? Well, good grades or being among the top 10% of your class is definitely an impressive feat, but especially in the US, only a few employers will look at your GPAs or transcripts after graduation. They will care instead about the quality of your resume and professional experience. It is also important to keep in mind that prestige alone doesn't guarantee a job at your dream company. Some people do find success after graduating from a top-tier school, while others may land a great gig as an alumni of a school you've never even heard of. Others, unfortunately, may not find a job at all. So it all depends on you. A leading school will certainly open a lot of doors, but it's up to you to walk through the door and nail the interview. So there is never a guarantee for any dream job. Your alma mater is just one indication to companies of the rigor of your education experience as well as the skills you may have learned. Ultimately, whether you've earned your degree from a top school or not, there are other ways to make your job application pop against other candidates. Personally, I would always advise you to apply and attend a leading school, and here is why. Top schools have strong alumni networks and employment pipelines. For that reason, attending a school with name recognition grants more access to coveted employers who often recruit directly from them. On-campus recruiting is the keyword here. The most prestigious companies all have so-called target schools that they attend and recruit from. Campus recruitment is an investment for employers. They'll continue to create opportunities for students at schools where other alumni have been successful employees. I would also advise you to do your research and look which schools may have past relationships with top companies. A good source is always a school's employment report, which you can find on a school's website. Some top schools, not all of them, post reports of the organizations that are hiring their recent students for jobs and internships. Another way to do this is by searching LinkedIn and exploring some of the popular post-grad destinations for recent alumni. One of the more recent trends are Zoom meetings and other video platforms that have been normalized since COVID. So, virtual recruitment fairs have increasingly become more popular at more schools. As a consequence, students from schools that haven't been necessarily deemed the top can now have FaceTime with recruiters and have a chance at landing some of the most competitive roles. Not all business schools and their curriculums are the same. Each program offers different core classes, electives, opportunities for specialization, concentrations, certificates, or dual degrees. For example, for those who want to get started in Silicon Valley, being a Stanford graduate might give you a leg up versus someone on the other side of the country. The same goes for Wharton's prestige in finance. Many schools have more niche concentrations like artificial intelligence, healthcare, or real estate. Again, doing your research before you even apply to schools is key, since you can cater school and job application materials to your career goals. Students that come from a less known business school may need to work a little bit harder at networking and interviewing to best communicate the in-demand skills they bring to the table. For each job you apply to, pay close attention to the job requirements, but know that graduating from a certain ranked school is not always a strict requirement, but sometimes preferred. So when does a school's name matter? After all, it all depends on what your career goal is. There are MBA roles in some industries where pedigree is a non-negotiable factor, like elite management consulting, investment banking, and private equity. This is why these industries have their favorite hunting grounds to recruit new talent. I would say those are the top 20, maybe even the top 10 business schools in the US. In management consulting, a student's alma mater can matter even greater than a student's experience prior to their MBA. The best business schools have dedicated consulting clubs where they help you crack cases, which is super important for job interviews. Also, as I mentioned, the more known a school is, the higher the chance you will have real-life management consultants visit campus. And not only to recruit from that school, but also to help you solve cases. The tech industry, however, is generally very open to all schools. These companies may be more interested in the skills you picked up along the way, such as in topics like data science and coding. So branding is not super important here. Tech companies also tend to have less consistent hiring timelines, whereas finance and consulting have their graduates start as a single cohort. Additionally, companies in financial services and consulting start recruiting up to a year in advance, often visiting campus during the fall and spring semesters in search of future full-time employees or interns. Tech companies, on the other hand, tend to come to campus much later, and hiring isn't as structured as for banking or consulting. Therefore, keep in mind, if you do decide to attend a more unknown school, I would recommend highlighting your key experience on your resume when you're applying for a full-time job. This compensates for a less prestigious school name to set you apart from your competition. After all, your educational background or your resume is only one part of the puzzle. You need to be able to succeed in the interview. I mentioned it before, the better a school's branding, meaning the more prestigious the school is and the tougher it is to get accepted, the higher your chances of earning high salaries. For example, graduates coming from an Ivy League school have higher average annual earnings than their peers who graduate in the top 10% of rather unknown schools. Also, graduates of Ivy League schools and other top-tier schools are 60% more likely to reach the top 1% of the earnings distribution. I did a video about salaries and what you can expect coming out of business school, and you can watch it by clicking here. All in all, branding, network, and salary all sound great, and they're certainly important, but you should attend a school that aligns with your goals and passions. However, bear in mind that your school decision will have lasting effects on your career and income. To sum this up, while school branding can help put you in front of certain employers, a company won't reject someone who is overly qualified for a role, yet comes from a less prestigious school. So I hope I was able to shed some light on the importance of choosing the right school. It's definitely not an easy decision, so make sure you research enough and visit the schools you want to attend. And keep in mind, there is never really enough research and due diligence you can do to find the right school for you. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, if you enjoyed this content and got value out of it, please hit the like button down below, and on your way down there, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't done that already. That's it for today, and I'll catch you next time.